How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about SOFI. It ended up forming another 52-week low on the Thursday. We've been seeing a lot of weakness inside of the markets, and I'm getting those questions. Dre, when do you see the stock starting to turn up? So we'll talk about it further in this video. I won't waste any more time. Let's jump into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you're a shareholder, you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to go over is a technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know support. We want to know resistance. We want to know what it looks like in the bearish case scenario and as well as in the bullish case scenario. And then we're going to be going on Fintel, taking a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information. The reason why this is important because it does have an impact on the way the stock performs. And then we're going to be taking a look at the order flow distribution. We want to know the buying and the selling behavior on the retail side and as well as on the institutional side. And then when all of that is done, we'll be going into the final thoughts and as well as some more details. So let's get to it. So we're going to do a technical analysis for SOFI. Let's see how it performed on Thursday. So it ended up closing at $7.26, being down 4.60%. On the low, it tested $7.22, and then on the high, testing $7.66. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 42.198 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days is at 49.397 million shares. So we did have below average volume on the day, and we also seen a slight pullback in the stock. Now, when we take a look at our chart, which is a daily chart, you can see from the RSI down below, it is at 32.60. And then when we take a look at our moving averages here on the chart, we are below the 200-day, the 100-day, the 50-day, and as well as the 21-day EMA. And as you can clearly see, SOFI is in a bear market, trading below all of our major moving averages and being on a strong downtrend. And if you could take a look at this RSI right here, I see that we still have some more room to go down. We actually have a tendency to bounce as soon as when we go below 30. So that's why I would keep a very close eye, but for now, there could be some more selling pressure. And what do I mean by this? We ended up forming another 52-week low at $7.22. So if you want to see a turnaround from SOFI, then of course, not only do we have to get above the high of the day at $7.66, but you want to see SOFI get back up to $8. I feel that's where a lot more buyers would want to step in. Many were looking forward to seeing a bounce, so seeing a double bottom right off that previous support at $7.79. But I was saying there's a good chance it was going to break through this and continue to do 52-week lows. So getting back to $8, I feel more bulls who would want to step in and then push this price up to the 21-day EMA, which is around $8.72. If we consolidate it and build support at this level, that's where I'd want to see SOFI making that move going to $10, which we know is going to be a strong psychological area. There's going to be a good amount of profit taking. So that is one thing you want to understand if you are thinking about trading it. But for the most part, as far as for a swing trade opportunity at the moment, I still see some pressure on the stock. I say that we should be testing at least $7 before we bounce back up. And if we break through $7, that's where it can go down into the sixes. And for anyone who's a long-term investor, I would highly give it some consideration and do some research to see if you like this company and if you want to invest in a stock. Now, let's go on to the short interest information. So we're going to take a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information for SOFI. As we scroll down further on the page, green rows indicate new positions, while red rows indicate closed positions. So when we take a look at the recent filings we have here for the 15th, we have Stevenson on National Bank and Trust that purchased 500 shares. We also see two closed positions here for the 14th. We also have a new position from Yarborough Capital LLC that purchased 26,000 shares. And we also have Ritz Capital Advisors LLC that purchased 5,900 shares. We also have Boning and Scattergood that purchased 13,150 shares as well. And as far as for the ones prior, we've already covered, and we also have some closed positions. But there is some interest on the institutional side. Now, when we take a look at the short interest The off-exchange short volume ratio is at 39.73%, and then for the off-exchange short volume, it is just over 8.15 million shares. Scrolling down further on the page, the short shares availability is at 650,000, updated 4 minutes ago, and then for the short SOFI rate, it is at 1.46%. When we take a look at the history of the short volume, we can see for the close of the 13th, it's at 35.75, and then for the close of the 14th being at 39.73. So what this shows us, SOFI does have short squeeze potential due to the fact we also have the short interest percentage of the float at 17.96%. Now let's move on to the order flow distribution. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for SOFI. So we see on the inflow it was at 48.45 million, and then on the outflow it's at 55.07 million. So we had an outflow day. Taking a look at the breakdown, on the large it was 0, on the medium it was 31.03, and then on the small it was 17.42. Like I said, these numbers are in the millions. On the outflow side, you can see for the large it was 0.98, for the medium it was 35.79, and then on the small it was 18.30. Taking a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, you can see for April the 14th we had an outflow of 0.98 million, and then taking a look at the 13th, you can see that we had 0. Now analyzing the numbers even further for the small scale orders that tends to represent the retail side, you can see that we had more selling than we had buying. And then when we take a look at what happened on the medium, we had more selling than we had buying. And then when we take a look at the large, it represents whales, institutions, and funds, we had more selling than we had buying. And then when we take a look at the turnover ratio, it was at 5.09%. So we're used to it being in this range due to the fact that SOFI does trade at high volume. So what does this tell us? It is very liquid. There's a lot of traders that like to go in and out of this play, and there's a lot of interest on the retail side in regards to buying and selling as well. So knowing how the market conditions have been and seeing a continuous pullback inside of the stock shouldn't be surprising, especially as we analyze these numbers. So let's get into the final thoughts, and we'll go over some more details as well. So for my final thoughts for SOFI, when it comes to the price action, taking a look at the technicals, we see that it made another 52-week low on the Thursday at $7.22. So if you want to see a reversal, if you want to see some strength out of the stock, it needs to go back to $8.72. And there is a gap that needs to be filled to the upside right around $8.50. So if we continue to see weakness in the markets, and especially seeing retail continuing to sell, I want to see us actually test $7 and see if that area can actually hold up. If $7 does not hold, SOFI will be going into the $6 range. And for all of my long-term investors out there, I would give this stock a lot of consideration. Do your homework, see if it's right for you, because I feel that is a very attractive price, and there will be many bulls looking to buy in. But do know there is a potential chance it could pull back even more, and that's why I emphasize doing your homework, because that will give you the high conviction that you need to want to hold this play for the long term, or maybe for 2 to 3 years. It all depends on what your goals are. And as far as for the upside, if we are able to get above $8.72, then we know as far as $10, that's going to be a psychological area. There's a lot of selling pressure here, so that's why volume is going to be very key to bring that buying pressure into the stock so it can make a further move. But I myself personally, for this coming week, I am not seeing this. I want to make sure I'm being completely honest with you guys. Also, when we went on Fintel, taking a look at the recent institutional ownership, we could see there is interest coming from institutions. That is not surprised. That has been happening for quite some time. And then when we took a look at the short interest information, no surprise again that SOFI does have short squeeze potential. There are many shorts who are vested in this play. So the moment we have a strong catalyst and we have some buying pressure coming through, then you will see the stock make a strong spike. We've seen this many times in the past. And if you are a trader, you want to make sure that you put yourself in the right position to take advantage of this. So you want to make sure you're using the right risk management and you're having a good idea of what your exit is going to be. This is very crucial. In the year of 2022, the market is completely different. Things are looking bearish at the moment. We have all these concerns around inflations. We had the CPI numbers that came out that was just a tick above expectations. So this is bringing a lot of uncertainty inside of the markets. I know on YouTube, you've probably seen 1,000,001 videos about people telling you about the upcoming recession. I myself, as a trader, this doesn't bother me whatsoever, because inside of the Discord, we're going to be making money both ways. But for anyone who is buying and holding, you have to make sure you have high conviction. You have to make sure that you believe in the stocks that you are purchasing, especially if you're going to be holding them in your portfolio. Because the last thing that you want to do is to be holding a stock that you don't have high conviction or any confidence in, because at some point you're just going to sell it and be like, you know what, forget about it. And that is not the right way to go about doing things. So figure out what would be the right strategy for you. And you can always let us know inside of the comment section what your position is and how you want to take advantage of the dip if SOFI gets to the price point that you're looking for. And also, where are you looking to actually sell SOFI? Are you going to be holding it for the next 10 to 15 years? I really want to know your thoughts down below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I can't wait to see how the stock performs for the coming week. We'll talk soon.